Hello, it's me, the one and only Lady Sandy Barker. Lost another subscriber. I guess they just don't want to hear what I'm saying. COVID's pretty bad right now. Family members in the hospital. Been having problems logging on with Uber. But I think I got that straightened out. I believe they want me to buy a new car because my car is only 2015. When you drive people, they want you to have a newer car. And they want you to have one that's emissions, so that's good though. Uber's supporting climate change issues, so that's a good thing for Uber. Thank you, Uber, for considering our earth. I appreciate that. Just got back and went to the store, and I don't know how the store owners feel about this, but when they got something on sale, like 2 bags of potato chips or 2 this or 2 that, and they have it on sale, I always try to share it with whoever I check out with. I don't think they like it too much, but people work and they don't make much money. I mean, minimum wages is ridiculous. Social Security that people get is ridiculous. We worked all of our life. All of our life. I'm 70. I've worked since I was 16. 16 years old. I've been working since I was 16 years old. Paying taxes, 16 years old. Women don't make as much as men. So when we get our Social Security, it ain't nothing. I mean nothing. You can't live on the day with $850 a month. You just can't do it. And people what making minimum wages out there, they can't make it on minimum wages. They can't. I'm poor. And I've noticed that poor people tend to tip better than rich people. What's wrong with y'all? You got money, you can't share a little bit of it. And all these rich corporations making millions and CEOs getting paying millions. Why can't they take a step down and say, let me make less and let's pay our employees? Now, I know a lady over in Falls Church. She takes care of her employees. And wrong or right, she'll stand behind them. And they're wrong sometimes, trust me. Employees are wrong sometimes. I saw one of her employees down on January 6th at the Capitol. But she keeps them employed because they need to work. I don't know if she even knew they were there, but I'm sure she did realize they were there. But then again, she voted for the last administration, so maybe she didn't mind that they were there. I did. I got an accent, and everybody down there sounded like freaking me, and that ain't me. I'm patriotic as all get out. I believe in a smooth transfer of power, not something somebody's trying to take over the freaking world. Floridians, you need to go. Bye-bye. Period. Well, that's just my thought. I'm 70 and I'm tired, but I'm still working. I drive for Uber, which is easy. I can't get in and out of car to deliver pizzas anymore because of my knee. My back's all screwed up because I got shot and the bullet went zigzag around my abdominal area. I have nothing but scar tissue. I'm still working though. And getting paid not much. If I could work full time for Uber, I could make anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 a week. If you work full time, which I can't. But it does give me a little bit of money to go out and have a little bit of fun, so I can dance and keep my body moving with all this scar tissue. Of course, now it does bleed. So then after I go dancing, I have to take a break, lay down for about a week or so. But with Uber, you can drive whenever you want to. They don't like it when you're making a lot of money for them either, though. I mean, seriously, everybody, business is business. And I told my children, start your own business. If you're working for somebody else, you're making them money. Work for yourself, you make yourself money. Now, I think Uber has a way where I could sign on other people and have them drive for me, but I don't think I want that responsibility. I'd rather just drive for myself and do it a little bit at a time, make a little bit of money, and that's it. I like to perform. I write songs. I don't play music. That's a back stab for me, because when I write my songs, they come with a tune. I know where it comes from. I don't know where it comes from. It's a gift. It's a gift I never asked for, and the gift that everybody seems to want. And when you got it, they don't like you. They don't. They don't respect you. Musicians are kind of funny. I guess they all got problems like me, you know. I guess musicians have their own problems. They have to work it out on stage. Um, Me, I like sharing the stage, although nobody wants to share it with me because I don't play music. But hey, I love sharing the stage with people. I do. They just don't want to share a stage with me. I do like to use my hat, though. Most people don't like me in a hat. A lot of people don't. But the thing about a hat is, it's distracting. And so when you got all this pain going inside you, you know, and you're hurting inside because, well, you've been through 2 divorces. You got 2 kids and 5 grandchildren that you can't afford to buy presents for. So you can go out there and dance your pain off. And me, I can see people's pain. I can feel people's pain. I hate it. I do. Because it's very emotional straining for me. I mean, I guess my addiction is trying to fix people's problems and I can't fix my own. So I've got to learn how to maybe start thinking of me more, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. My mama had 10 kids, and if we didn't share, we didn't eat. If we didn't work together, we didn't eat. And we fought, trust me, and I was small, and I got the worst of the fighting probably. But I'd fight. I'd get beat up a lot, but I'd fight. I'd hold my own. I'd try to protect the little guys, you know. And that gets me in trouble. So I'm trying to be. I like to play cards, and we have this game we play called Low 13. And it's a family game. I don't know where it came from. Probably my sister that was in jail. A couple sisters been in jail. I haven't been in jail. I almost went to jail a couple times. I was 16. My sister gave me her car and told me I could drive it. I didn't know it was illegal to drive without a license, so I took the car. A bus on 495 when it was first put in. It's before now, way back when it was just like, you know, not 4 lanes, but 2 lanes. Anyway, the bus came over and knocked me off out of my line and hit me and knocked me into the, I guess, medium or whatever. And my sister told him I stole the car. So, and because the bus hit me and I didn't have a license, it's automatically my fault. I shouldn't have been on the road. So she knew she's in trouble because she had brought me up here and got me a job when I was 16 in Rixon Electronics in Maryland. And I had moved to Rockville because we got laid off, and she went to another company to work, and I got laid off, and I moved to Rockville, Maryland. Number 6 Manakee Street in Rockville, Maryland is where I lived. And Mrs. Moyer, and Mr. Moyers, I didn't see him much. He was in one end of the house, and she was in one end of the house, and they didn't sleep together, which I thought, that's kind of weird. Wife and husband should be sleeping together, but that happens a lot when you get older, I reckon. I don't know. I never made it that far in my marriages. I guess they just can't handle me. They just can't handle me. I talk to everybody. And it's not that I'm flirting, I see somebody that's in pain and I want to ease their pain, so I'll say something funny to them, or I'll dance around and toss my hat around. make it funny. Like drop it on the floor and then pick it up and go, whoa, no, and so throw it up. And so now they got used to seeing me, and they'll look at me and they'll point at me and they'll go up. And that means throw your up in there, catch it, put it around on your finger. One night I was dancing. I was at JV Restaurant. This time when I was working with Uber, I'd stop at JV Restaurant for food because they are clean cooks. I mean, it's clean restrooms. That's very important to me. Although some of the people that hang out there are kind of rude, they are. It's not the staff. The staff's awesome with you, and they treat you kindly, and it's not the owner. She's never been rude to me, and she's never told me I couldn't even go on her stage. But some of the people that hang out there, they just freaking rude. I went there I was working and I stopped by to have dinner, to eat something. I needed food. And I stopped by and I got me some, I can't handle a lot because of where I got shot, so, excuse me, I got some tater tots. I love those things, so I was eating my tater tots, and used to be a church there called Blue Church. I was there for a little while. When I realized what they was doing, they was just collecting money for the Republican Party, which I thought churches ought not be doing. I thought church and government should be separate, and I can't vote Republican. My daddy was a preacher, and on his dying bed, he said never vote Republican, so I could never, ever vote Republican. They shouldn't hold that against me because I'm a Democrat. I could vote independent now because Daddy didn't tell me not to vote independent back then. If you registered, it either had to be one of the or. But now you can register as an independent. I might go change that so that I'm not targeted. But then if I'm an independent, I'd be targeted by both parties. So, I don't know. But I have been watching politics since my daddy told me that. And I have noticed the Republicans, they'll scream at you just because you ask them how they're doing. COVID's killing people. How's your family? What the heck? And the people who fix my brakes, I'd love to give them that money back because they've got 2 grandchildren now and they're old and hell. But I guess they had money, and the Republican, they targeted them. They paid $10,000 to get the picture in a little book. I told that pastor, I said, you put my story in that book, I will sue you for everything you got, mister. I will. That's my story. If anybody's telling it, I'll tell it. And because I came to you thinking you're a pastor and it's in confidence and you go out here and spreading this shit to people, and then you're taking all these people paying $10,000, $20,000 each to go on these golfing trips to guess who's golfing tournaments. You know who. The Floridian. In Florida. The criminal capital of the world. Yeah, all the big bad drugs come out of Florida. Out of Cuba. Up through Georgia. And Canada. New York. And Governor Cuomo, even though he was a Democrat, I didn't like him. I knew he's guilty, what he should step down for, and he should step down. In fact, they should impeach him. And they should have impeached, they tried to impeach the last president, but they should have impeached him and Cuomo both, so you can never run for office again, because women are tired of this shit. We're tired of doing all the work and have you take the credit. We're tired of doing double the work and have you take the credit. We're tired of paying more taxes than you are, and you are out there ruining our country and our earth. Now, I'm part Native American. I believe in saving the earth. And when I was a child, my mommy took a paper bag and made us go pick up everybody's trash out of the freaking holler, and trust me, they didn't believe in not throwing trash down. And every year at meeting on top of the hill, Mommy'd go up there on that graveyard. She'd walk us up there, and it's a long walk up top that mountain. And she'd pull all them flowers off, and she'd take them down them creeks and wash them out. And then the next year, I mean, that when it came time for the meeting on top of the hill, she had all those flowers washed, and we'd carry them up the hill, most of the time walking. And we'd put those flowers on graves that did not have flowers. That's the way I was raised. You respect your elderly. You never, ever, ever make fun of the elderly. You talk to them and learn from them. That's what we grew up with. But then this day and age, it's... So if you like getting a laugh out of me, making fun of me, please do it. I like to make people laugh. But it really does insult me when somebody 24 years old is making fun of somebody 81. And then when I say something about it, even though I'm 50, I know I'm going to be 81 soon. 30 years or so. And then when I say something, oh, you shouldn't make fun of old people. You will get old one day. Then they go complaining to their husbands, and I get in trouble. So I don't know about these younger generations, how they were raised. I'll take my raising any day over that. I believe in work. I hate asking for help, although I probably should at times. And my kids will get mad at me. They're doing far better in life than I did. And that's what we want as parents. We want our children to go far beyond what we could. That's what we want. If we're a good parent, that's what we want. And I consider myself a good parent because that's what I wanted for my children. I told my son to start his own business, and he did at one point. Of course, he got married, and she discouraged him. Marriage, right? I went through 2. So I'm beginning to wonder, is marriage a really good thing anymore? Because, they don't last anymore. And when you run into somebody and they've been married 31 years and you ask them, how in the world did you do this? Let me tell you what they say to me. They say, I take my wife dancing. I compliment her cooking. I appreciate her benefit that she stood by me while I was in the military. So all women want, they want a little recognition. Even though you've been married 6 or 8 years, they still want you to notice them and love them like you loved them when you met them. But once the kids come along, the moms, they carried those kids 9 months. They seem to be a little bit more into their children than the men are. But the men that I've known, they used me. That's what they done. And then they accused me and abused me. Although they didn't dare abuse me physically, because I'd tell them about this story down in the mountains where this man he got drunk. This true story back down in West Virginia. This man beat his wife, and then he found another woman. He wanted another woman. So he decided he's going to kill his wife. And he killed her, he thought, and he buried her. But the problem was he buried her in a shallow grave. And that woman was thinking about the way he'd come home and beat her and the kids. And it made her want to fight. It made her want to dig. And she dug until she made a little air hole. And she breathed and she kept digging. Fingers. And finally, some guy had to go on his way to work, 5 o'clock in the morning. He pulled over this wide spot in the road. He went over the hill to use the restroom, and he saw this finger. Now, I'm guessing that old man heard about him trying to kill his wife, and he probably went down there and stopped at that point on purpose, because he probably knew he killed his wife. He wanted to see if he buried her. He did. Well, he got her out. This gentleman did. He dug her out of jail, out of the grave, and she went, and he had took her to the hospital and checked her out. Well, she went back home. Surprise, surprise, honey, here I am. Her kids by that time got big enough to beat too, so they tied him up. I tied him up in a sheet. Wade, he got drunk that night after he came back. He started beating on him. She let him beat her a little bit. And then when he passed out, they put him in a sheet and tied him up really well. And then they took a 2x4. And they beat him so bad. He had to crawl out of that holler. Crawl. And he crawled. Time he got to the hospital, he had broken bones and all this. When he got out of the hospital, he went back home and he looked at his wife and she'd say, "Jump, honey," and he'd say, "How high, sweetie?" All we want, fair pay, appreciation for being a mother, because it ain't easy. And all the men want, when they're working their tail off for you, they want to be appreciated for that. They want to be told that they're still good looking, that they're still appealing, and you still cook for them. That's what they want. I was good at that part. I just wasn't good at keeping them. I guess when I'd tell them these stories about growing up in the Appalachian Mountains and how these women didn't take this crap, they was afraid. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in people's heads, you know? I don't know. All I know is I would like to send prayers, peace, love, harmony. I sure wish I could sing harmony. Y'all can go out there and get your COVID shot, okay? Or whatever it is, wherever you're living at, whatever world, whatever country. If you have availability to these shots, please go get them. Uber's got us wearing a mask, and they've got a sign on our back seat saying masks have to be worn throughout the whole trip, and you still have people wanting to get in your Uber and not wear a mask. Of course, I buy masks, because 9 times out of 10 you pull up, they ain't going to have a mask. But I hand them a mask, and I bought this, so, and I give it to them. They don't have to give it back to me, they can take it with them. I put a new one in the back seat in case somebody else don't have a mask. It's costing me money, but I believe I am participating in maybe helping stop the spread of the COVID, because it's gotten worse in Texas. They've got little children dying from COVID in Texas. They've got little children dying from COVID in Florida. And Georgia probably ain't that good either. South Carolina, and they've been telling their people, we got God, we don't need. You know what? God, and I'm going to say this to you Christians, for sure. I'm going to say this to all you Christians out there. God gave us free will and a brain. Okay? He didn't give us this brain to waste. No. He gave us this brain to learn and to believe in science, and when there's something, virus come wrong, because we caused it. We caused these, okay? We did. Americans. Or the worldwide people who don't believe in saving the earth. You caused this. You caused this. I caused this. I tried not to cause this because I grew up believing we should save the earth. If we cut down a tree that was old for firewood, we replanted that same tree. And I replanted trees all my life when we cut down one. And so some people care, but not enough people care. Not enough. Okay, not enough. We should all care. I care. You should care. For your families, for your children, for your schools, for your planet. If the earth is not saved, we cannot live without the earth, okay? We can't grow food. We can't do anything. So if the earth protects us and we don't protect it, it ain't going to protect us. And then they wonder why all these fires are going, global warming is happening. Oh, global warming's not happening. It's called climate change. Bull crap. Take a look at the ice caps and how fast they're melting. And there's things finding out underneath the ice caps we might not want to see. Well, that's enough for this day. Remember, prayers, peace, love, harmony.